I said I'm contacting all the people I think that could be important. I know that she was great during the before the elections, very helpful. We have interacted. He has appeared on my chat sometime, my live chat. She has appeared. We have had a good time, but but communications nowadays, we are so connected and not connected at the same time. It's like when we talk about disconnected, let's talk about being disconnected from reality, because I don't understand how this works. A British actor, Papa Essiedu, is in talks to play Professor Severus Snape in HBO's Harry Potter TV series. By the way, this is something that is coming. There's a TV series, Harry Potter TV series. This could be great as long as it is not like the Rings of Power, who has been, a total failure. What is Adrienne is a fan of Tolkien, by the way. It's in her bio. What they did with Professor Tolkien's work is just a crime. At least we got J.K. Rowling alive, so she can't complain. I think it is my understanding that J.K. Rowling is involved in the project. Don't believe me, I don't have all the details. But why would you? We know the description from the books. And Alan Rickman was spot on. Maybe he was not exactly like the description of the books, but who was really close. Then why break? Why break? Why try to fix what is not broken? Why try to do the race swap? I mean, how they are erasing gingers from pop culture. I wouldn't be surprised that Ron Weasley gets a makeover as well, because you know that you have seen all these gingers from pop culture, from every single history story or franchise. Gingers are being erased en masse, okay, and replaced. And I wouldn't mind. You can have your own stories. If you're black, you can have your own story, like in Black Panther. People love Black Panther. It was like, I don't know how many. It was more than $1 billion. The movie. They should have recasted T'Challa for Wakanda Forever. You don't have a Black Panther movie. How do you make a Black Panther movie without Black Panther? Well, that's gonna fail. It's like Captain America 4. Without Captain America, that's gonna fail, because Steve Rogers is Captain America. I'm getting really geeky now. Now you understand the level of geek, of a nerd that I am. Yes, I am that level of, maybe not with the Star Trek, but with many other things. Yes, I am that level. And it's like when Nerdrotic, Gary from Nerdrotic begins to say Miles Morales is Miles Morales and Peter Parker is a Spider-Man. Big distinction. This is not it. Why would you do this? Especially with Alan Rickman. And this shouldn't be done with any character, with any actor, but Alan Rickman, like, hits too close to home, because Alan Rickman is one of my favorite actors, like, in the history of acting. He's there with Gary Oldman, the Prisoner of Azkaban. Gary Oldman is a legend, in my opinion. We still have Gary Oldman alive. Thank God we'll have more of Gary Oldman for many more years. Alan Rickman went too soon. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Yeah, Steve Rogers is Captain America. Steve Rogers is Captain America. You just flip him for the Falcon. The Falcon was already a fleshed out character. Anthony Mackie is one of the highlights of the MCU. The guy has charisma. The guy had a fleshed out character. Why would you swap it? But I need to make a video about why Bucky made more sense as the one to, receive the shield. I could be doing this all day. You know what I mean? You get that reference, right? You get that reference. Ah, yes. You get that reference. In all cases, we need a reboot of Professor Snape. We need somebody to play Professor Snape. And people are pitching that Adam Driver would be a nice choice. That could work. That could work. He looks the part. He looks the... I think that even Keanu Reeves could play Professor Severus Snape. Maybe Adam Driver has... I don't know. The problem is that once you get Alan Rickman, once you get that, it's very hard. Although we all need to remember, if we are going to be true geeks, we need to remember two recasts or two castings that made zero sense at the time. Imagine that, I don't know, there are not many comedians right now. You know that because comedy, who's a famous comedian right now? I don't know, more or less fit. I don't know. Imagine a comedian being cast as Batman. Doesn't make much sense, right? Why would a comedian? Well, that's what happened with Michael Keaton. Nobody believed that Michael Keaton would be the right choice for playing Batman. How did that turn? Did that turn out? That turned out, well, not nice. That turned out great. Okay, only the thing that he couldn't just, he didn't have this mobility on his neck. Besides that, everything was great. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. That worked. And nobody believed that Heath Ledger, after all these rom-coms that he made, after his trajectory as, he had some, he was a great actor. Nobody doubted it. But Heath Ledger as the Joker, no, you must be joking. That couldn't be a thing. And he turned out to be perhaps the most iconic depiction of the Joker after the comics themselves. Okay, which is insane, and the animated series, which that Joker, I have to say, I don't like Mark Hamill's politics, but I have to say that Mark Hamill's voice of the Joker was just amazing. It's something that it was just transports you in many ways. It's something that just you switch. Okay, I remember playing Batman Arkham Asylum, and I'm sure that I think Mark Hamill was doing the voice of the Joker in that game, if I remember correctly. And we got, oh my God, the voice of Batman. Oh my God, I'm committing a sin